Yeah, so good morning, everybody. Another live stream, Thursday, third week. Welcome, YouTube, welcome on LinkedIn. I'm happy that I made it on time today to our live stream because I was already on the road 1.5 hours. And so on my way back, I saw a big traffic jam in the opposite direction. And I don't know about you, but always, even if have some pity for those who are in the traffic jam on the opposite, then I'm glad that I'm not on that side, but I'm on the side that is free. So luckily I made it. I have also some time to grab me a cup of coffee, so we can today have our live stream as each morning. Yeah, you remember yesterday we talked about the game of Carcassonne, right? This puzzle cards that we can put together into landscapes, like here, to create some roads. No, this is wrong actually. Let me fix that. So that is right. This is interesting about this game, because then you can build some cities. I mentioned that yesterday, and then we discussed about S/4HANA process building blocks, but I think maybe we didn't have the time to discuss the relation between Carcassonne and these process building blocks. But let's today have a look at SAP Business by Design, standardized processes. So, and then I explain the relation between Carcassonne and these process building blocks, how we can learn from that today. Okay, so let's go in. As always, you are welcome to join us at menti.com because, as you know, we are doing polls and Q&A so that it is an interactive experience. The number for today is 44316187. So this was what we polled yesterday. We talked about what are standard processes. We talked about what are processes which require some degree of freedom in contrast to maybe standard processes which are not so easily or not so good standardizable. I don't know if this English word exists. Standardisierbar, standardizable, okay. Able to be standardized or even not desirable to be overly standardized, because these processes need some freedom to be effective. Efficiency and effectiveness is not always the same. So, and then we made this poll, and the result was innovation first. So we need more freedom in innovation. In marketing, we need freedom. In sales also, because this interactions with prospects and so on, this individually. Fourth is decision making. And we also said, even in these like non-standard processes, we need a little bit standardization still, because at the end of a sales there is maybe a contract, and then it is a sales order or something. And even in marketing we need some little bit structure, because then who is responsible for what? And in decision making also we need some structure, because we need some data for that decision making. Okay. I don't know about you, but typically a good decision making is based on facts and based on data, based on transparency, based on insights. But still the process itself of decision making is somewhat like free and complex, and it's also related to strategic planning. So there's a certain sense of stomach feeling or conviction, or what is our USP as a company, what are our differentiators to others, and then there's some degree, there's no standard process for this. Maybe some best practices, maybe some trainings for that, but there is many factors to be considered. So, and also content creation and customer service in a sense. So that was what we had yesterday as a poll, and the other poll was most important attributes of a standard process, which is interesting because we have this 4 which are mainly leading, and then the other 2 which are back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have efficiency, consistency and quality, scalability and measurement and improvement. This is the advantage. And then also we have with low score training and onboarding of new employees and risk management. So as always, this is not a scientific thing, that is just to have it a little bit interactive. Okay, now about business processes in SAP Business by Design, standard processes. Yeah. So many of you know SAP Business by Design has 39 comprehensive pre-built end-to-end business scenarios. Yeah. These are delivered and supported out of the box. That is, they can be activated in configuration. Actually, there's a little bit more to the configuration than just activating those. But this, for example, are cash liquidity management, field service and repair, order to cash, project management, with purchasing of materials and services, intercompany, produce to stock, procure to stock, and also sell from stock, and others also. You know these probably. They are described in PowerPoint slides. Yeah, so you see them here a little bit on the top. Here, let me switch my camera on so that I. Yeah, you see them here a little bit on the top. Yeah. These are PowerPoint slides. Yeah? So these describe these end-to-end processes. Yeah? So this is on one hand, this is a big advantage, because in those PowerPoint slides, which we have as an SAP Business by Design partner from SAP, then we can have a quick overview of what happens. We can show this overview to our customers, to our prospects, those who use SAP Business by Design. So that is very useful, and I cannot underestimate this usefulness because when I try to understand what SuccessFactors does, for example, I was trying to dive into the functionality and processes of SuccessFactors at one point in time. This was, I don't know, I think 1 or 2 years ago, something like this. And I said, okay, so where are the business scenarios? Give me the business scenarios, then I can understand what happens inside of SuccessFactors. And I just didn't find them, though. So I was kind of lost. I was anywhere I clicked, I was going to the documentation of SAP SuccessFactors and then reading tons of stuff. So, and then I thought, now, well, it could be better if there was some business scenarios for SuccessFactors as well, to quickly understand how these processes work. Yeah. So at that point in time, I was looking for them without success. Maybe in the meantime there are some, possibly. It was also possible that they were there and I just didn't find them. It's also possible. Yeah. But what I wanted to say is, if you have these slides, these business scenarios, it's very helpful to understand quickly what are the advantages of all of these standard processes in SAP Business by Design. Yeah. So that is one thing I like. On the other hand, of course, it is obvious that it may be a disadvantage that these processes are on PowerPoint. Because then, if they are on PowerPoint, they are not connected with each other. You cannot connect them together, or you cannot make variations, or you cannot, okay, you can, but then still it's PowerPoint. So this is, I would say, sometimes not the ideal tool for process modeling, as you can imagine. Yeah. So there is some process model, but it is not in a process modeling tool, obviously. So there's a difference because a process modeling tool has much more functionalities. Yeah? It can connect processes with each other. You can see how they relate to each other. You can combine them. Yeah, this is what I said with Carcassonne. Yeah. Oops. In a process, if you have these processes in a process tool, like SAP Signavio, yeah, you can combine those into cities. Yeah, like I could decide to build this city, or I could decide to build this city. Yeah, maybe I can even take another process building block if you want so, and then I can create a bigger city. Yeah, or I can maybe decide to create a road, a longer road, yeah, from one city to the next city. Yeah, so these are the process building blocks. And if I'm using a process modeling tool, then I can create some certain combinations of, yeah, in this case, cities and roads. Yeah, there's a certain degree of freedom. And of course, you cannot combine every process with every process, but or you cannot. I should use the right terminology. Now, you cannot combine every process building block with every process building block to create a process, because sometimes it is not allowed. Yeah, here, for example, the road is not allowed to the city. Yeah, this doesn't work. Yeah, but this works, and this works. Yeah, so these are process building blocks. Yeah, so they can be reused in other combinations. And it is the same with actually Business by Design process building blocks. Yeah, and this is maybe also a difference between this process models on these slides, yeah, because these slides only have end-to-end processes, which is a good thing, yeah, because then you have a certain standardization of end-to-end processes. But actually they are differently to be combined in different projects. So we had many customers in the meanwhile for SAP Business by Design, and each customer has an individual combination of these building blocks, actually, process building blocks. Does this mean that each customer has a different process? That's a very good question. Yeah. So yes and no. Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, each customer. In the end, if you look at the whole city that has been built, or the whole process they are using from SAP Business by Design, each customer has in the end a different different map, or a different completely process map. Yeah, in the end, but still, these process building blocks are standardized. So we are recombining these standardized building blocks into different landscapes for each customer. And this makes absolutely sense, because then you use a certain degree of flexibility and a certain degree of standardization. It is exactly the thing that it is not like a straitjacket if you use SAP Business by Design, because you have this degree of freedom to recombine these process building blocks together into a individual process map. But still you have standardization, because these building blocks are standardized, and you can reuse them. What does this mean, you can reuse them? You don't have to invent, like for example, procurement all the time from zero. You can reuse them, and you have certain variations from procurement, for example. Yeah? Procurement for services, procurement for materials. They are different, obviously. Then if you do procurement for materials, yeah, then you have also variations like procurement to the own factory, yeah, to the own site location, or you can have third-party delivery, for example. Yeah, so some okay, there are two other variations. There are third-party logistics provider, that is somebody else has your stock in his stock house. So we had this in one customer project actually, yeah. In Luxembourg there was this external warehouse managed by a different company. Kühne und Nagel, I think, was the company managing the stock house, yeah. And then you have third-party logistics provider, yeah. And then the coming in, the goods received, obviously, runs a little bit different than if you do the goods received in your own site, yeah, for example. And then also you have, as we say, Streckenabwicklung. Yeah? So you order something from your supplier and then you ship it directly to your customer. Third-party delivery, I think it's called in English. I have to look that up. So what I want to say, there are different standardized process building blocks. Yeah. If you look at them in detail, and you can combine them. For example, you can use delivery to your site, yeah, to be used then of materials to be used then in production. Yeah, if you produce something, but even if you are not producing something, just selling, yeah, trading, then you can use the same building block as well. Yeah. And also if you are neither just selling nor producing, but for example creating solar energy parks or building solar energy parks or any renewable energy projects, yeah, you can also use that procurement to stock for your renewable energy project and consume what you have procured into stock in your project. So that is a different combination. Yeah. So for example, here you have the procurement to stock. Here you have the production. Okay, so that is one combination. Other combination. Okay, here is your procurement to stock, and then you have the sell from stock. This is another combination. And then here you have the procurement to stock, and then you have like project, energy park building project, and this is a third combination. Yeah. So that was one possibility, but now different thing. Maybe you have third-party delivery. Yeah, third-party delivery. That is this card. On this card, third-party delivery, you can combine not with production, because this doesn't make sense. But if you are trading, yeah, then you can use third-party delivery with selling. Yeah, then you have to you can sell your material directly to your customer and your supplier. But this is not the only possibility, because you also can have as I said, energy park project, and this energy park project is a different standard building block. And then you can combine this and deliver, for example, the solar panels or whatever, directly to the site of your customer. Yeah. So that is what I want to say. If you know the standard building blocks and you know how they can be combined intelligently, yeah, you can make a lot of variations of end-to-end processes for your different situations in your company, for example, or for each customer a different combination. So if you got that, if you understood that, then the only remaining question is, okay, now what are the process building blocks? Yeah, what process building blocks do we have? And this is the interesting question. And there I think I have something for you, because here in these end-to-end processes, even if they are good to understand, you don't have these actual building blocks in that way. At least not in a way you can reuse them. Yeah? And this is what actually we did in our customer projects, and we created from the beginning these process building blocks in SAP Signavio. Yeah, we thought, okay, modeling in PowerPoint is good, but modeling in Signavio is better. Yeah, this is why we use SAP Signavio since 13 years, and having these building blocks in our solution. So if you want to look to that, so as you have understood, we are not working with Signavio since they joined SAP, because we're working 10 years earlier with Signavio. Yeah, of course we are very happy about them to join the SAP family. Absolutely happy. Yeah. About this, but we started working with them even 13 years ago, even before they were founded. We worked together. Okay, so that means this is a unique differentiator of us, AdaPro, yeah, because we have gathered so much experience over all of these years, even more than a decade, with each of the customer projects. Yeah, this is nothing we just invented newly and think, okay, maybe this is a good thing. Yeah, we proven this in many projects. We are always using this since 13 years in all of our projects. Yeah, and this is why we even come up with this idea. We have to have reusable process building blocks. Yeah, and need to combine to be able to be combined into different process landscapes for different customers. Yeah, and even there we found that because we do have different customers, but we have some similarities between those customers. So customers from the professional services industry, for example, they have a certain typical combination of process building blocks. So first of all, what is a process building block? For example, here, service product definition. Yeah, this is a process building block. If we drill into that, we can see what is this process. And these are some steps. Yeah, maybe we need to still translate every detail for that. But organizational structure. Yeah, creation. Here we have some English translations also. So we know these processes, how they work, and we can reuse them in different scenarios, in different end-to-end processes, and in different process maps. Yeah, this is these process building blocks, and these have been created from us in our customer projects and together in the real usage. Yeah, not in the fantasy, but so they work because we know we have implemented them successfully with the customers. Yeah, so for example, and then we know, okay, we always need this kind of process building blocks, basic data maintenance, organizational structure creation, business partner definition, and service product definition if we do service-oriented industry. Anything with service-oriented industry, we need that. So we created even a module out of these, which is to be used together. Yeah, and then and then we have these end-to-end processes. For example, order to cash, professional services. Yeah, and then we have this one. Yeah, for example, and then we have the steps: create sales purchase order with a project, create project form sales order, procure service employee and report expenses, report time and expenses, purchase for project invoicing with invoice request, revenue recognition, and so on and so on. And even this is what I said. Yeah, here we have this, for example, process building block of purchasing. Yeah, and we can drill into that. and then there are different variations. Yeah? So let me jump there, back. Yeah, so we have created this package, which consists of several modules and of reusable process building blocks. And this we can use. Yeah? So if we have a new prospect or a new customer, whatever, we create a copy of this and then we ask him, do we need this? Do we need this? Do we need this? And then yes, no, yes, no. And then we create an individual combination for each of the customers or even prospects. But that is not the only thing. We have also other. We have, for example, yeah, for professional services with SAP Business by Design, service contracts, we need to translate then with SAP Business by Design. Yeah, this is subscription modeling, and this is event and projects for many customers, for example. Yeah, so we have different of these process maps created. Yeah, and these process maps are for individual, yeah, industries. We have also production and supply chain and yeah, also for energy park creation and so on and so on. This is called partner packaged solutions. Yeah, and we can reuse them in different situations. And this is an advantage if we use this in conjunction with a professional process modeling tool like SAP Signavio, because here we have really the possibility to create this reuse effect, yeah, of these process building blocks. What does it mean? It means, yeah, that with each of new projects we do, we can reuse in the meanwhile about 80%, sometimes 85% of what we already knew before. Yeah, so this is like what the effectiveness of standard process building blocks means. Yeah, because you don't have to, yeah, re-investigate everything all the time, but you can reuse, and then we can concentrate on discussing the, I don't know, 15% specialities from each individual customer, because always there are individualities. And yeah, then we can concentrate on solving those and discussing those instead of wasting our time, wasting our resources, and wasting our money in discussing things which are already reusable, existing. And I tell you what, I once had a project. We just gave him yeah, our project model and Business by Design, obviously. Yeah, and they made it nearly all of their own. Really. maybe I invite the gentleman at some point in time. So they got this process model. These process models are so good described. Yeah, you can configure your system. Maybe okay, in some cases, yeah. Not in. I'm not saying in every case. So certainly we will do this configuration for you, obviously, but in one instance this project, it was a go live and it was production actually, which is one of the more complicated things, but they reused our process models and nearly did everything on their own, yeah, like configuration, data migration, and so on and so on. So that was very exciting experience. But okay, so that is no individual advice. I'm not saying you or anyone can do everything alone, but what I wanted to say is obviously the degree of reuse improves your possibility to to save some time, some money, and some speed up your project, obviously. Yeah, because then you're not losing individuality, because we can always recombine standard process building blocks. But you're also not like inventing everything new from scratch all the time. Yeah? So you can find the right balance between standard and individuality. And that is, I would say, the wonderful thing of this approach, in my opinion. And if you ask me, it is disruptive because it changes all those the ERP consulting business in a disruptive way. This is my opinion. Of course, we can discuss about this, and of course, other people are of other opinions, and they would also defend the old way of doing things. And they would say, no, we need so much individual programming and this individual consulting and so on and so on. Yeah, but this is a debate. Yeah, and we need to do this debate because times are changing, things are progressing, and if you do today an ERP project without process intelligence, without Signavio, well, I don't understand it, why you do that. Actually, it's my opinion. But as you know, sometimes I'm thought provocative, so this is why we are here, to share some opinions, to share some perspectives, and to be thought provocative. So yeah, and don't miss our program, SAP Business by Design versus S4HANA Cloud, because both of these solutions have process building blocks and they can be recombined into each other. SAP Business by Design has building blocks, 300 of those. SAP S4HANA has building blocks, about 1000. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Yeah? It's the same thing with S4HANA than with SAP Business by Design. So let me switch me off here. Join us in our program. And if you want to compare the two, yeah, in a systematic way, actually, systematic way. Okay, so let us do a poll. Join us at menti.com. I think just let us do this poll, which is 44316187. I want to know your opinion about what do you think about SAP Business by Design and S4HANA Cloud. Are they totally different, or are they similar? Yeah. Okay. The question is, SAP Business by Design and SAP S4HANA Cloud are totally different. Do you agree, strongly agree, or do you disagree? And there I have two sub-questions. Do you agree for small and medium businesses? Yes or no? Or do you agree also for large enterprises? So what is your opinion? Do you think Business by Design and SAP S4HANA Cloud are totally different? Are they totally different for small and medium businesses? Or what do you think about SAP Business by Design and S4HANA? Are they totally different for large enterprises? So what is your opinion on that? Let us know. And I start a timer for that, so you can have some time to vote. So, 30 seconds. I know sometimes it's not so easy if you have a double negation in the question, yeah. So like different, they are different, and I disagree. So I think if I disagree they are different, then I think they are similar. Yeah. Okay. So Business by Design and SAP S/4HANA Cloud are totally different. I strongly disagree for small and medium businesses, or I strongly agree, or I strongly disagree for large enterprises, and or strongly agree. So that is the answer. Interesting, thank you. So we have here very diverse answers, I must say. Yeah. So in average, the community thinks that SAP Business by Design and S/4HANA are not so totally different as come to small and medium businesses as for large. Yeah? But still, it's more different than same. That is what you think. But that is also because a certain of diversity of the answers. Yeah. So one is thinking, yeah, no, it's not really different. Yeah. Two are, yeah, in the middle, and then one who strongly disagrees that they are different. So that is interesting. And for large enterprises, I would say it is completely like each has a different opinion on that. So yeah, thank you. That is interesting. Well, that is surprising, actually, I must say. Yeah, I have my own opinion on that also. But yeah, so that is why it is interesting also to have this program. Yeah. SAP Business by Design versus S/4HANA. What are the similarities? What are the differences? Okay, thank you. So, no questions? Okay, tomorrow. As you know, on Tuesday we tried to have this interview with T, and I had a good conversation with him, but we had no sound. It was a glitch in the matrix. Tomorrow we will repeat that. Thank you for joining us, T, tomorrow also. And yeah, then we will do the interview with sound. Thank you for joining today, and yeah, have a good time. See you tomorrow. Bye.